Hey, what's up, everybody? Steviebreech coming to you with a video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view on Sunday. This isn't really a video, like a prediction video, I guess you can say. I'm going to be doing one of those later on in the week. I can see how big the buzz is for Money in the Bank because I see a lot of people have already started putting up their prediction videos, and that's awesome. I just am honestly not really 100% sold on who I think people are going to win these matches are yet. I think the top three matches, the SmackDown, the Raw, and the WWE title match, I think are still up in the air that anybody could win these pretty much. You look at them, there's only a few guys you can knock off the list that aren't going to win one of these Money in the Bank matches. I think everybody in these matches are pretty much contenders, and I'm mostly just using this video as a sort of way to help myself, who I think is going to be able to win this match. When we talk about the WWF title match, you got CM Punk and John Cena. I think that match can go either way. I think there's 100 storylines buried in each storyline. I think the more you look at this, the more you dig into it, the more you want to find things that you think mean something. Because there's a little part of me that think that contract signing is going to lead to something in the future. I was thinking because they had the CM Punk contract, they had the Vince McMahon contract. Each of them brought their own to the table. Both of them said their contract was already signed and ready for the other one ready to sign. What if Punk, at the end of the show when he ripped up his contract, what if he ripped up the Vince McMahon version? So there still was the CM Punk signed contract in the ring, and Vince McMahon was able to pick that up. And let's say if CM Punk was to win the title and say that he wasn't going to defend it, he was just going to leave with it and take the WWF title with him and head on over to New Japan Wrestling. That Vince McMahon would be able to sign the contract and say, "Ha, I got you." That would be the big screw job, is that I already have a contract that you signed. You are now a WWE wrestler again, and so on and so forth. I think that would be a good reveal. A lot of people are looking for some sort of screw job finish. That's the one thing that I can think of out of this. Some people are really hoping for John Cena to turn heel. I honestly am right there with you. I'd love for John Cena to turn heel, but I'm not 100% sold that that's ever going to happen in our lifetime. He is the ambassador of the WWE. He is the head honcho. One of my good buddies, Danny, is actually going to be meeting him at a kid's birthday party. He's going to be attending the WWE, sending him there. It's a real cool event that he's going to, and he's going to be able to meet John Cena because somebody just wrote a letter and said, "Hey, it'd be nice if you sent a wrestler to meet there," and they sent the biggest wrestler on the freaking roster for this kid to meet. I think that's pretty freaking cool. When you just look at it, stuff like that, there's not many wrestlers out there. I mean, Cena's been on top of the WWE for 6 years, and that seems like forever. When you look back in the past, you would think Hulk Hogan ran wild over WWE, but his major run in the WWF lasted for only 7.5 years, and Cena's approaching that. I mean, if they squeezed everything out of Hulk Hogan they could have in his first run, and it was 7.5 years, Cena's at that point now where they got to start thinking of, what are we gonna do? They don't have a whole lot of options of who can be a number one guy if something was to happen to John Cena right now. They have some good lower mid lower like main, like I guess you can call them lower main eventers, but high mid card, whatever you want to say, guys like John Morrison, that if they wanted to spend the time and spend the money and get behind these guys and really push them, they could be main eventers, but they're not 100% ready for anybody to step up right now. If John Cena was to get hurt like he did a few years ago, they had to run off and they had to get Chris Jericho to bring him in because they were that lacking at the top. When you go into the SmackDown Money in the Bank match, there's a few guys you can cross off. I think both guys from the core. I think that they've had good runs. They're good, newer guys. But I don't really see Justin Gabriel, Heath Slater having a chance in this match. I would love to see Sheamus win this to get back in the title hunt. I thought that he was getting himself back into that. But with him getting punted in the head by Randy Orton, I thought that was a weak excuse to excuse him from the main event storylines a while back. I know a lot of the guys are jumping on Daniel Bryan, hoping that Daniel Bryan is able to pick up a win in this. I really don't see it happening. Kane's in this match. He's got the big title shot on Friday Night SmackDown. I really hate it when they do these title matches on SmackDown right before a big pay-per-view or a main event title match is already scheduled. I can't think anything off the top of my head where they've done a switch like this right before a pay-per-view. I mean, it's good. There's a lot of people fired up, to see Kane in this. I know the spoilers are up now, but I tend to stay away from the SmackDown spoilers, even if I'm not going to be able to watch, the SmackDown show live, and I'm going to be watching it, maybe Saturday or Sunday. Um, but it just doesn't make sense because you know that Kane's not gonna beat Randy Orton. You know, it just doesn't make sense. But hopefully it's a good match. Cody Rhodes is a young rookie that I think that is right there. I think he's not really at the top of the mid card yet, but he could be. He's been putting on great matches. I think he stole the show with his Mysterio match at WrestleMania. I thought that was a great match. If it wasn't for Triple H and Taker, I think it would have been match of the night. Sin Cara, you know that they have put a lot of money into this guy, and they would love to get behind him. He's probably the second biggest wrestling superstar in the world, and they would love for him to take off. But I don't think the U.S. fans are 100% ready to get behind this guy. I think a lot of the internet fans are still with the Botchmania stuff on him. I think that he is going to have a long WWE run in him. I just think that he needs to slow down, hit his spots, and get used to the WWE style. Wade Barrett is the guy that I've been wanting to get a push ever since he got moved over to SmackDown. I think this would be his coming out party, and there's no other more exciting way to jump into the main event, and it's winning Money in the Bank. He had one of the best summers for any WWE rookie last year, and it seems like since he's moved over to SmackDown, they really haven't done anything with this guy, and they really need to. He's a big talent, and would love to see this guy get pushed. Now over on Raw, here it comes, guys. Get the Zamzar ready. You're gonna hear this once, and I'm never gonna say it again. I probably won't even say it in my prediction video. So this is my little present to you. There is one guy in the Raw Money in the Bank that you can cross off the list that is not gonna win it. Jack Swagger. All right, I sort of said it, but the Swagger's the one guy that he just doesn't have anything going for him. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you know, people that win the Money Bank are generally guys that don't have big, you know, programs going on right now. He's one of them, but it's just not going his way right now, and I'm sure someday it'll get back on track. I thought right after Mania, he had that great match with Kofi Kingston. I thought that they were going to put the U.S. title on him. I thought that was going to be the reward for, you know, sticking with Michael Cole through WrestleMania and started, you know, getting his name dragged through the mud in that horrible angle. It didn't happen, but at least, you know, he's one of the main guys on Raw by sticking him in the Money in the Bank, so that's going to be great. This is his first one since his big win at WrestleMania 26. That is honestly one of the only times I've ever picked the Money in the Bank winner right before a pay-per-view. Mostly I just picked him because of the you know, he's Jack Swagger and he was one of my favorite guys at the time. But not that many people picked him, and I'm not picking him this time. But I mean, I would love just for the WWE and Monday Night Raw, I would love for them to get behind Evan Bourne. I think he's the one guy that deserves to get pushed up there. There's just been certain circumstances where they've pushed him big time, and then all of a sudden they've just pulled it back. They've just pulled the rug from underneath him. Sort of like a couple of weeks ago, Evan Bourne got that big sort of hype up promo, not really a promo, more of a music video, you could say, of him hitting the 5-star and just showing how good of a well, he doesn't hit the 5-star; he's the shooting star. But you know, it just how great of a superstar he is. And he goes out and jobs the match. It doesn't really make any sense. Rey Mysterio is a superstar that, you know, he won the title last year and he lost it at the Money in the Bank. I believe this is his first Money in the Bank he's ever been in. And you know, with the DVD that just came out on Tuesday, it wouldn't hurt him if he won this match. You know, it wouldn't hurt the DVD sales at all. Kofi Kingston is a guy that is a young rookie that they've had verges of where they want to push this guy. He's won the U.S. title. He's won the Intercontinental title. I'm sure this is the guy that they have high hopes on, and they wants to get there. I mean, he could get the briefcase. Alex Riley is a guy you know they're high on. I think that if it wasn't for the fans pop, I think he would have been dropped back down. But I think somehow the fans got so far behind him, mostly because The Miz as a heel is a well-loved heel that is sort of rubbed off on Alex Riley, and he got that rub from it in the matches. With The Miz haven't been that great, so I'm surprised the fans haven't dropped off of his bandwagon yet. But every time he comes out, he gets a pretty big pop, and so you know WWE's gonna stick with him. I think it's gonna be a little. It would be a little weird if they give a rookie this big of a push, like with the Money in the Bank right off the bat. But you know they got to do something to shake some stuff up, and especially if CM Punk was to win and win the title, a lot of people are picking that the title change is going to happen right after that with somebody coming and cashing in. You do have to pick a face in order to do it. Going back to Rey Mysterio, out of anybody in this match, he's the guy that has the biggest storyline forever with him. They went back and forth on SmackDown. They've gone back and forth on Raw. These guys just really don't like each other, so Mysterio would make sense if they did that double title switch. as well. The Miz is a guy, I don't really see him winning a Money in the Bank. We have seen CM Punk win, back-to-back Money in the Banks before, so has been a two-time winner, but people weren't that big on him having the Money in the Bank. That's when I sort of stepped up and I became a bigger fan of him, because you were always able to say, like, is he going to cash in? It was always something to talk about when you were around wrestling fans or talking to people, like, what's going to happen with the briefcase, because he held it almost, longer than anybody. Well, Edge had it for a real long time. It seemed like he was going to hold it all the way into WrestleMania and cash in the next year. But he ended up doing the cash in on John Cena, which was pretty cool, because that was the first one they ever done before. So, I mean, like I said, there's arguments for almost everybody. The one guy out there that would be great if he won it, and that is R-Truth. I'm not the biggest R-Truth fan, but I would love it if the whole thing just came together and he was able to capture that. R-Truth, with the whole conspiracy gimmick, pretty freaking good. So let me know what you guys are picking. Prediction video coming up later this week.